And last but not least is my team. Let me share the screen. Team Brazuca. And on the team was Alan, Marcelo, Jessica, and Scott. I think we were all an incredibly busy team, so we were all jumping in and out periodically to different meetings. This is our mascot, Snowplow Guy. He was in a lot of the videos we had to annotate, and so he popped up. So the overview of our project is, it was a pet peeve of mine last February. Portland lost power for like 4 days, and you could call it PG and they'd say, well, the roads are too icy and there's too many trees there. We don't know where all the power lines are. And I told them it's the 21st century, get a drone and go tell me where all the power lines are. And so the whole point of this is we're going to try to figure out where, or if we could identify power lines and power poles using video footage. So technical approach, we found videos of power lines and utility poles in various states. We used Rekognition Custom Label to train a model based on that. And then we had processed the videos and view the results in Media to Cloud. And Alan and Marcelo, please jump in if you have any comments on any of this. Obstacles. Videos are not the best thing to train off of when you could do something like go get a bunch of images. There's a lot of clutter in them. The images aren't clean. And so some of our results weren't as crisp as I would have liked to see. Our first couple of tries, we didn't process enough images. You really need a couple hundred to get anything good. We also tried a lot of different annotation methods to get them into custom levels. I know I demoed at one point just boxes, which is the one apparently that Rekognition takes, but there's also a way to import raw videos and do area shading, which is a much better experience for the user to actually go through and annotate videos, but can't go into something directly like Rekognition's custom label. If we had more time, one of the things I'd love to do is take that video outputs we got and use that with yellow algorithm. I found an article to work through that one and see how that would go. But because of that, I probably annotated like 600 images. I can only imagine Alan did close to that. I don't know how many Marcelo and them did. But because we did it in so many different ways, we wasted a lot of time on that. And then we wasted a half a day because Media to Cloud's supposed to be a turnkey template, and they broke their S3 bucket, so you couldn't access it and turn it on. But demo. So I'll walk through some of the stuff we did here real quick, assuming I find the right boxes. So these are the jobs we created in here, where we'd break up videos into different segments and clone them. As you can see, we did lots of images over and over again. I think there's a second page somewhere, maybe. And once we're done, you import them into a project in Rekognition. And this works a lot like how the TensorFlow you saw did, was where it will do it. It'll automatically divide up into different groups, your data. And then, where was that at? No? Oh, here it is, right on the screen. It gives you their confidence on how often they can detect things. And then you can look at the images and see how they classified what, and this was calculated and stuff. So this is Media to Cloud. I'm going to upload a new video. It probably won't get done by the time we're ready to go. Let's upload that one. To upload, you can actually have this do all the Rekognition libraries. We have it running two different algorithms here. One is for a sample that had 500 images. The other one is for one that had, I think it was 260 images. This does all the other low-level ones like transcribe and stuff if you want. You click start. It uploads everything. It does uploads to S3. and then it will start processing it through recognition and stuff. And this will actually turn on the recognition custom algorithm, which takes like 15 minutes. So that's why I probably won't finish here. Run it and then shut it off, which is hugely important because that custom algorithm costs $4 an hour to run. But once you're done, you can go into one like this. Oh, hang on. Let me toggle on the labels. You'll see where it's finding stuff in here. And it will highlight where it found the things on the videos for you. We did not have enough image of damaged stuff annotated for it to really pick up on that well enough.
I think we needed to add a fire label.
Maybe. Cool. So wins, we were able to get some reasonable accuracy out of it. Good one was about 70%. Oddly enough, I'm not sure it's because of how we annotated the images or the quality, but having 286 gave you the most tags. Having 500 would give you like 0 false positives, but it would also like barely highlight anything. So there's something with the data in there we needed to run and figure out more of. And heck, we were able to play a live video with tags in it. So that's really cool to see. Lessons learned, data quality matters. A lot of the videos were like neighborhood surveys. And so there were houses and trees and a lot of things obscuring the power lines. I think if we had some just more raw images and then ran it through that, it'd have us better data. Data annotation takes a lot of time, usually like 15 to 20 seconds per image. Training the model takes time. The recognition custom labeling does the training for you, but it ran for an average of 3 hours each time. So I'm assuming that's multiple loops through. And like I mentioned earlier, videos are much harder to work with than just raw images, I think. If I had to go back, I would just really work with a series of raw images and more controlled. Any questions for the team?
So what sort of output does it give you? Does it give you any output?
Yeah, so if you just do the algorithm and you pull the data out, it gives you a JSON format, which I actually have open, I think.
So that could be independently analyzed. The output could be independently analyzed for hits, effectively,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So
Okay.
this is the output out of one of the videos. I don't know which one, but it'll give you the frame it was at, timestamps, what it found where, put a bounding box around it for you. So you could actually do this, and this is what the media to cloud analyzes to display it for you.
So you could then use it as an input for something else.
Yes. Yes. Anything you can imagine. You can have this be pulled out and thrown into. You can imagine if a drone was surveying stuff, it would have its own metadata in here too, like GPS coordinates. It would match the two, and then kick off an alert when there's something wrong.
So you want to get this to the Texas Utility Commission before February?
I'm telling you, this is all driven by that storms that we had last year. I wrote a very poignant letter to our utility commissions here in Oregon about it. Any other questions?
Can you use this to crack captures?
Yeah, no, you'd have to test it. I don't see why you couldn't.
I'm thinking about those captures where it says, pick all the images that show a traffic light or something like
Honestly,
that.
I secretly think Google's just using that to train their machine learning algorithms more than actually cracking them. But yeah, you could probably use it to train something like that.
An interesting use of it, though. A little devious.
There was I think it was at MIT. They taught a robot how to actually touch a screen and check the box that says I'm not a robot.
Cool.
Nice.
Teaching robots to lie. That's not
Where were
good.
you when the robots took over the world? I was training robots to lie. That sounds fair, right?
Cyberdyne
A
systems
collaborator.
Any other questions for the team?
Is there a good data set like of downed power lines?
Well, since we're using videos, we used YouTube and found as many of them as we could.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got 1 or 2 into the final data set we used, mostly because we were, like I said, we were experimenting with different annotation methods.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd annotate 40 images and spend 30 minutes doing it, and then you'd go back and, oh, I can't use that data set in this data thing. Darn. So
I'd be curious to know if there's an algorithm to teach a drone to fly around and look at power lines.
now you're getting meta about that.
You could do the deep racer. It could be like treating that as a track.
That's what I was thinking. I think we should combine forces.
Oh, this can't go wrong at all. Let's teach the robots to lie, recognize I'm not a robot, and fly around.
With great branding.
With great branding and drinking coffee. Supercharged.
Well,
All right.
awesome.
Well, thank you everyone for participating in the hackathon. It was great seeing everything that came out of here. I can't wait to read some of the blogs that come out of this.
Yes, and that's super important. Don't forget the blogs. We want to hear from everybody, no matter what role you played, if you were an observer or an active participant. And it really doesn't matter how short the blogs actually are. It's better to just hit that publish button. And if you remember something else, you can do a part 2. But get that information out there. And Sean, is there any support at this point coming from marketing for people who want to do blogging?
Yes, there is a blog template for the teams to use, and I've shared that within the Hackathon channel, and it's also a part of the creative brief that was shared earlier this month as well too. So there's access, and of course I'm always here. If you want me to look at something, if you want me to read something, I highly recommend using me as a resource as well.
I was gonna say, in the past, I just usually write them in Google Sheets, and then I will occasionally just kick them off to marketing and say, hey, can you review this and post it for me? And it's really easy for them to do that and find you nice image headers and stuff like that. So
Do you mean Google Docs, Nathan, or do you literally do it in spreadsheet form?
sorry, Google Docs. Thank you, Joaquin.
'Cause
Spreadsheet blogs would be impressive though.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, congratulations, everybody. Was super great. Thank you so much also to Nathan Wilkerson, who has been an absolute champ getting this done and up and running. Can we all give Nathan a big round of applause?
And while we're on thank yous, thank you to you, Joaquin, for giving us all the time and space to get this done. Really appreciate that because it's been really fun. Thank you.
My pleasure. Awesome. Well, Hackathon complete. Woo!